What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rebels X Defiance back at you with another video. Now, this video is going to be different. I really want to get into talking about game companies, specifically Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. But I really want to dive into Nintendo real quick since they've been the most controversial as of recent, right? They came out with their quote unquote new console. You know, that seems like a pro version of the original Switch, you know. They came out with their new console and everybody was, well, I wouldn't even say that. You know, I'm gonna just say that the reaction that I saw on the internet, you know, seemed like people were disappointed, mad, frustrated with Nintendo. But when the numbers came out, now, I'm not sure, I'm not even going to get into the numbers because I really can't tell. I don't know what's really going on. I'm not sure how many people bought the Nintendo Switch 2 in the USA, right? But I've heard in Japan, it's doing really well in Japan because they priced it at an affordable price. You know, I'm not sure what the numbers are. We're just gonna have to wait for a real later date until I can figure out, you know, how good is the Nintendo Switch actually doing? Nintendo Switch 2, right? So, recently, Nintendo just jacked up the prices for the Nintendo Switch, the original one. Just jacked them up. And let's get into how much the prices have increased. So here are the new prices for the original Switch. If you want to buy the standard Nintendo Switch, right? The original price was $300, but now it's $340. If you want to buy the OLED model, it used to be $350, now it's $400. And if you want to buy the light version, it used to be $200, now it's $230. Right? So basically, we all know why they did this, right? I know you guys know why they did this, right? Obviously, they want to force you. It's like a psychological thing they're doing here, right? When you look at an OLED model, right? It's $400. That's $50 away from the Switch 2, right? The Switch 2 without the bundle, the Mario Kart World bundle, is $450, right? If you go to a GameStop, a Walmart, or a Target, and you're just looking around, you're like, okay, let me buy something for my kid. You're gonna see, oh, the newer version is just $50 more than the original. Why in the world would I buy an old system when their newer system is actually just $50 more? Might as well just buy the newer system, right? So basically, that's the whole game that they want to play. That's the charade, is to play games on your mind and get you to not to buy their newer product, right? Now I never thought that Nintendo was this kind of company, and I was never really into Nintendo as of late, because I'm kind of like a Nintendo just a little bit, but most of my gameplays, if you watch my shorts, are based on Super Smash Bros, right? Because it's a big community, you know, a lot of people like it, so I'm into it now. So I'm kind of into Nintendo now, right? I never thought they were this greedy company. When you just look at them based off the games they release, you see cute little Mario, cute little princess, cute little Luigi. You're like, this game is made for kids. It must be cheap. But I remember when I first got into Nintendo, one thing I noticed about Nintendo is that their games were never really on sale like that. I would always go into the Nintendo store and I'm like, oh, there must be something on sale. And I'm looking at these games and they're still the same price as they were before. And I'm just like, damn, Nintendo never does sales like that. Even PlayStation does plenty of sales. They do plenty of sales, right? But, you know, I'm not gonna buy a Nintendo Switch 2. It's not gonna happen. Not at least up until they release a new Super Smash Bros. I'm not gonna make the same mistake that I did before with the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. When I bought my PlayStation 5, I was so ecstatic. And let me tell you guys something. I am a sucker. I paid maybe $500 more than the original MSRP for the PlayStation 5. So I basically bought the PS5 when it first came out from a scalper. I paid over $1,000 for it, thinking I'm going to be playing games in 4K, 120 frames per second. And I was disappointed. I was completely disappointed to find out that I bought this system for over $1,000 and it's not performing the way that I thought. I'm buying all these games and they still coming out, 60 frames per second. I was expecting every game to be 120 frames per second. I'm like, oh, I don't need no PC no more if I got a PS5. And then the games, everybody knows that the PS5 doesn't have any games. We know that they are releasing games from the PS4 from the PS5 on the PS4, and it's been a long hard switch for this generation to have more PS5 players than PS4 players. As of now, there are more PS5 players than PS4 players, and it's funny. The PlayStation 6 is going to come out in 2027, and a lot of people are just now getting the PS5, and it's like, what do you know, right? So these companies, man, that's why I've made the switch to PC. I'm a PC guy now. The only console I own is a Nintendo Switch, and I'm loving PC. I never thought PC was going to be that great. And it's so funny. My PC is not even like the best. It doesn't have the best specs on it. I'm running on a 1650. Yes, you heard that right. 1650 GTX graphics card, not even RTX. And I'm capable of playing 1440p on a lot of games that I have. Now, when it comes to like AAA games like Cyberpunk, I'm probably not going to be able to play on that, but I will be able to upgrade my PC and stuff like that, right? But, back to Nintendo. What a greedy company. This company here, man, they try to advertise as family friendly, but they are the worst of the bunch. They are the complete worst. If you try to do anything to your console, if they even believe you've done anything to your console, they have the power to just shut your console down because they believe you modded this or you did that. But it doesn't matter. If I bought your product is not yours, it's mine. Like, this is another issue that is going on in this gaming world right now. Like, you're buying something and it's not yours. Just imagine going to your favorite fast food place. You bought something and you said, put this, put that on it. You finally get your order, and then they just they regulating how you're supposed to eat it. They're regulating how fast you can eat it. They just no, the food is no longer yours. It's mine now. I'm going to eat this how I want to. I might not even want to eat it now. I want to eat it tomorrow. You can't force me to do it right now. That's the issue I'm talking about. A lot of these companies are now into this, you're just kind of buying a license to use their stuff. It's not yours, right? It's almost like freaking going out to a dealership, and something similar to this is, I think BMW was doing something like this, where you buy their car and they would take out features unless you paid for it, a subscription, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like, I think if you wanted warm seats or hot seats, you had to pay BMW a subscription. And people don't understand, once you start giving into these subscriptions, you're making it worse for everybody else. Because at some point, you're going to be paying a subscription for everything on the car. The car is supposed to have 500 horsepower and 700 feet-pound of torque, but you can only access all that horsepower and all that torque unless you pay us $50 a month. And people, there's going to be those people that's going to be like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just $50 a month. And that's the freaking trap right there. You keep talking about, oh, it's just this. It's not just this, bruh. Eventually, I'm not going to be able to own my damn car anymore. It's not even mine. It's theirs. If I don't pay the subscription, I don't have access to the full use of my car. Imagine paying a subscription to freaking put a seatbelt on. The seatbelt won't you can't buckle your seatbelt unless you pay them $10 a month. Now that's going to be a big issue. That's not going to be lawful. I know that would never happen. I'm just using an example here, right? But a lot of people are into Xbox Game Pass. Oh my God, Xbox Game Pass is the savior of the world. Like, bro, you guys don't understand. Like, look, I'm going to acknowledge it, right? I'm going to acknowledge that Xbox Game Pass is somewhat beneficial, but much more detrimental. You guys are looking at it from a short-term perspective. You guys are looking like, well, I don't have $60 all the time. I don't have $70. I don't have $80 all the time to pay for a new video game. And that's understandable. I used to have a friend who used to bust his butt to take care of his family, and he just wanted to play video games at the end of the day. And sometimes when he goes onto the Microsoft store or the Xbox store, whichever they call it, he would go in there and he doesn't feel like he can pay $60 or $70 even when it's on sale. He was like, man, I can't even pay $20 for this stuff, man, because I got to pay for this. He was the only man working in his home. So I felt for him, right? So he ended up telling me, but Xbox, they have Xbox Game Pass, and he's able to, play games as long as he has Xbox Game Pass. Now, it's understandable. Not all of us got that type of money to be paying $70 for a freaking game nowadays. But this is the trap that we're being pushed into. We're being pushed into a corner now. We're being pushed into, are you going to pay $80 for a game, or are you going to pay us a subscription, right? So here's how the subscriptions are terrible, right? Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is going to be the Netflix. I know you guys heard this before. You guys are on the internet. It's going to be the Netflix of gaming, right? Eventually, all games are just going to be Xbox Game Pass, where you're not going to be able to buy any game. You won't even be able to buy the license. You're just going to be on Xbox Game Pass. I think it's $20 a month. When I was paying for it, I think it was at $25. It's $25 a month now. But a couple of years from now, it's going to be $40. Then it's going to be $45. And then it's going to be $60. Is that same $60 you was complaining about for a new video game, which is understandable, that you were complaining about for a new video game, now you're paying it for a subscription. How are you going to feel about that now? That's why I'm trying to tell. I don't understand why people think Microsoft is doing them a favor. They're not doing you a favor. They're doing themselves a favor. These guys are corporations. We got to stop being fanboys of these corporations and just be like real intellectual, real smart customers. Look at what the value they're giving us. Look at the situation. Do you not see what is going on? They are forcing subscriptions. Well, are they forcing it? Well, they're really pushing it hard on you. They're pushing it hard on you. They're putting you into a corner where you only have two options to choose from. It's either you play games or not. You're going to buy the license and we can take the game away, or you can go onto our subscription service and We can still take the game away. We own the games. So basically, I do not like where gaming is headed. Is really up to the consumers. It's us giving us the money to them. We have the power, but a lot of people don't have backbones. A lot of people don't have the spine, don't have the strength, the mental fortitude to say, no, I'm not giving in. When the Nintendo Switch 2 came out, do you know how I felt when I saw people posting? Yeah, I was feeling the FOMO a little bit. But I swear to you, after a week, I could care less. I even forgot the Switch 2 came out because I'm focused on a lot of other stuff. I'm focused on other responsibilities going on in my life. Now, I kept up with the news, but I could care less about the Switch 2, right? Unless they come out with a new Super Smash Bros. Okay, then, I think it's worth it to me. But other than that, I'm not buying that crap, okay? I'm not going to give this company the opportunity to violate us gamers, bend us over backwards and just take it from us, That's what a lot of you guys are doing. That's why a lot of you guys don't have spines, because you already bent over. You already bent over to Nintendo and allowed them to rip your spine from out of your rear end and take it from you. You see that little Super Mario Galaxy. You see that Donkey Kong Bonanza, that Mario Kart World. You ready to just lean on over and let them take it from you, bruh. You guys gotta do better. We gotta do better. I'm included in this too. Even if I know I'm standing up right now and not buying the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm a part of this too. I'm a gamer too. I'm a part of this community, and I need you guys to stand up. I need you guys to stop the nonsense. Stop allowing companies like Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation to bend us over. And how can we do that? Is with our money. They need our money. How you think PlayStation Plus is here? PlayStation Online. It's because of you. You keep paying for it. Oh, it's just $10 a month. Why are you complaining? That's why PlayStation Plus is going to increase. That's why Xbox Game Pass is going to increase. That's why Nintendo Switch Online is going to increase, because it's just this. It's just that. And then eventually you're going to look up and say, dang, how am I ended up paying $100 a month to play online? That's how much I pay my internet service provider. Guys, please, let's get it together.